I wanted to just welcome everybody, 2022. It seems like it's Groundhog Day. We're in the same place we were last year. Teams of 10. So, but now we've got some experience with all of this. So Nancy's asked a really good question. How is this going to work with the teams? There's 4 teams. There's Bonnie Bolger is taking on Sue Campbell's place for the West Enders. Okay, Dorothy, me, and Diana. Sue Campbell is partnering with me.
Sorry, Harriet, not Sue Campbell.
Sue Preet.
Preet.
Sorry, Sue Preet. Did I say Sue Campbell? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Sue Campbell's in Turks and Caicos, I think. I'm not sure.
No, Sue Campbell's in Aruba.
Aruba. There we go. Yeah.
Soon to be going to Aruba.
Hopefully.
So because we are restricted to 10, for Dorothy, Diana, and Bonnie, they can only take 10 people, okay? But you know, we never seem to exceed that. So with the walking groups, for me, I put my suggestions on where we're walking on the website. You have to go to the website.
Yeah.
If you see it on the website, today is Sage Park. And we're meeting at Sage Park parking lot. And because Sue Preeb is going to be with me, we can, for today anyways, we're going to do a flat walk through Sage Park and the back trails, okay, for about 50 minutes, 50, 60 minutes. And then other days, Sue might take a group and do some of the hills. But I will take the group where you feel most comfortable.
Excellent.
So if you want to do a moderate walk and you want to get started again, that you'll be coming with me.
So I don't have to email you and say and confirm in
No,
advance. Just
but
show
here's
up.
the
Okay,
thing,
perfect.
for any of us, you know, just you have to take responsibility for how you get there. If you see that we're still online with a guest, and you need more time to get to where you need to go for 10:30, just leave.
Yeah.
Don't worry
okay.
about it. Just get off the screen.
That's what I thought, Harriet. Thanks.
Yeah. And you know, just FYI, Nancy, I've been thinking a lot about Janet. And I don't know if she has the time to join us, but I think she would really enjoy women.
I know she would.
Yeah.
I'm working on her.
Okay. Janet Ireland is a guest, has been a guest many times with Space for Change. She recently, her husband passed away. So she's going through some rough
November
time.
10th. Yeah, it really is. But
Yeah. So I'm going to just say that again, because I see more people coming on. So I guess if all else fails and you can't get to Dorothy or Diana, or you're not on their regular group, I'm the go-to, okay? Please feel free to come with me. There are 2 team leaders, actually. There's Sue Preeb and myself, and we will both go in different directions.
and the other thing is, something tells me that the other gals maybe take more challenging and longer routes. Like I was watching Joan Hale there, and I thought, oh, that's not for me, not yet anyway.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
You know, we have different,
levels.
I think I put that in the email too, moderate to hiking, like to,
Yeah,
what did I say? A moderate to
challenging.
challenging. And but you know, that's why I think with Sue and I, you're going to have some challenges, but you can also take an easier route. And believe me, we'll get the exercise in.
Oh yeah.
You'll enjoy it. You know, there's and Diana's going to be my confirmation here. The trails out here are fantastic right now. They're really good. And
The trails are fantastic. The trails are really good. The ice is thick. So when we cross small ponds, there's been no issues. The Skidoos have been out, the ATVs have been out crossing them. My walks are pretty well at the 1 hour mark. We-
Yeah,
we
that's all
rarely
I'm
go
good for.
over. And we do hills, but we don't do the ropes. climbing the mountains. We do
Not yet.
we do hills, but we don't do ropes.
Yeah.
The ropes aren't as bad as they sound.
Well, I've done the ropes, and that Peninsula Trail, I've done it. It is definitely challenging because of the rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just very rocky.
So, just to, I want to go over some of the things with Women 10 right now. So, the theme is empowerment. And that means, really taking responsibility for what you're doing to keep yourself well. And, many things that we do at Women 10 are really about our Blue Zone activities, moving naturally, moving your body naturally. But the bonus for us is that we have Zumba. We could go to Zumba on Wednesdays. You can do chair yoga on Tuesdays. And you can do stretch and strength on Thursdays. And if the weather's inclement on a Monday, I'll do a stretch and strength. Okay. With myofascial stretching. So there's lots of variety. And I really want to put out that challenge to everybody to do. There's only one of you. And I want you to be as healthy as you possibly can be, not just for yourselves, but for the people around you. I know when I'm moving, I'm a lot nicer person. You know what I mean? Oh, Maureen, I see you smiling there. So that's number one. And number two, we've got some really interesting guests. I'd like to think more about, I wrote this down, living better, living kinder, using less. Living better, living kinder, using less. So kindness to each other and to the environment. So keep that in mind. And we next week, go look at the schedule. By the way, I've changed a few things on the website. One, the calendar is on the main page, so you can't miss it. And there will be where I am suggesting we meet to walk. So today at Sage Park, if any of you show up, I will be there. On tomorrow, I had put Laurentian Trails, but I'm going to say Sage Park again. Okay, I'm going to change that to Sage Park because I want you to get familiar with the trails here. Okay. And as I mentioned, if weather is inclement and we don't have Zumba or chair yoga, I will do myofascial stretch and strength. Okay. So I see Janet has posted something. Yeah, let me get rid of this. Given the close proximity of walking together, just wondering about the wisdom of wearing masks. Any thoughts?
Well, we usually stay, 6 feet apart. It's outside. Should we leave it up to the individual or do we feel
Yeah,
strongly that
that's-
we should?
Yeah, I'm going to leave it up to the individual. There are reasons why people can't wear masks sometimes. It could be asthma or bronchitis, I don't know. But that's totally up to you. Any other thoughts on it? I can't enforce anything like that. I really can't. And I just assume that you're going to, we tried that last year, right, Jill?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I know people are getting a little nervous right now with the numbers and this sort of thing that's happening. And I think it should just be an individual. If you feel more comfortable that you're protecting others or protecting yourself, because even though the initial push was that the masks protect others, they also protect you. Air has to come into you and it's being filtered as well. So it does give you some protection. But I think you have to feel comfortable with who you're walking with and keep your distance if you are a bit concerned, and wear a mask if you feel more comfortable. I think that's up to you.
Some of the,
I'm presuming we are all vaccinated. I might feel differently if there are folks who are not vaccinated, but I am, I'm presuming we're all vaccinated, so.
the
Sorry.
other thing too is that for some of the trails, if you're pole walking, you're going to be walking single file.
Yep.
The other thing is when you're walking with a partner and you're pole walking, you're not facing them. You know, there's these little things that you can think about. As Jill said, that's going to be an individual decision. Does that answer your question, Janet? Okay. All right. So, hey, I got a question for you. Wait a minute. Got to find it first, okay? First of all, what did you do on the holidays? What did you do? And I'm going to start with Rosemary.
Turkey.
Well, we didn't have a Christmas dinner this year, which we normally do, because it was only gonna be the two of us. So we had a family brunch instead. We had, made brunch, and then we just, got to sit around and do nothing in the afternoon if we want. But I did have a family game day. Having 6 people choose games, play games, can get interesting. That's it.
Okay, Debbie.
Well, you want to know like what I did other than eat, right? You see, I'm on the bike right now, and you know why? Because I think I got on the scale about 2 days ago and I thought it was April Fool's Day. But anyway, here I am. We did, Lisa was off for 10 days. Her office, both our kids live in Ottawa, so her office was closed for 10 days. She just only went back to work on yesterday. So she came home on the 23rd. So she spent 10 days here, which was wonderful. And then Randy, he spent Christmas Day actually in Ottawa with his girlfriend's family. And then they jumped in the car on Boxing Day and came. So we had Christmas on Boxing Day. So that was kind of nice. And both our kids are also, like Rosemary's family, big into games. So we played lots of games over the holidays because there wasn't really much, many places to go to do stuff. So, we kind of hung around the house and stayed close to home, but played lots of games and just enjoyed each other.
Well, you know what? One game we're going to play on an off day or when a guest cancels is Trivial Pursuit.
Oh, love it.
Local Trivial Pursuit.
Oh,
Make up your own question. Okay, Noreen.
Christmas Eve, I went to my sister's family in Callander, which I've done for many, many years. It was a little different this year because one of my great nephews was in contact with someone who had COVID. He tested negative, but he had to quarantine. So that whole family, 5 of them, self-quarantined until New Year's. But we still had a great time. We still had lots of people, lots of food, lots of drink. And New Year's Eve, I had 2 friends over and they know who I'm talking about. We actually stayed up till midnight. We had a little glass of amaretto to celebrate. After they left, I stayed up till 1 o'clock because I wasn't ready to go to bed. But yes, and we've played Rummy Tiles, a Mexican train over the holidays, which is a lot of fun. So I've had a really good holiday, and like you say, it goes really fast. I haven't done as much walking as I normally do, but last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we did the Richardson trails and it was awesome, absolutely awesome.
Good.
I
We're
had
going
a
to
good
be
time.
going there. I have a schedule for one of the walks as well.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Noreen. So Patty Graham. Oh, Patty's not there. Jill.
Oh, yes, I am.
Oh, there you are, Patty.
I'm here.
Okay. How was your
Yeah.
Christmas, Patty?
It was quite nice. We've had our 8-year-old grandson with us since Christmas Eve, and it's been quite the prolonged, I guess, experience to be reparenting again. Wow. But it's been fun, and we've got quite a large acreage here. So we have been in the bush. We've been forest bathing a lot, but in a different way with an 8-year-old, of course. They want to stomp on the ice and build forts and do all kinds of stuff. So I've really enjoyed it. It's been, and I've been able to do it. I'm able to walk and snowshoe, and I'm celebrating the fact that I'm entering 22 in a much healthier way.
Oh, Patty, that's good to hear. Really good to hear, because you were having some back issues, I think.
Yep.
eh?
Yep. Yep. So I still am, but I've kept myself mobile, and I am just stretching, and I'm so committed now to it. And I don't even go to bed at night without doing my stretching, and I find it's making a world of difference. So I really have to thank my physio people for that. So I'm coming along. Yes.
Good. Roseanne.
I saw you out walking, Patty.
Did you see me all
Roseanne.
bundled up like crazy with
Yep. With your poles. You had your poles.
Okay, we got 35 people
Oh,
to get through
yes.
here. I want to hear everybody. Roseanne.
We went up north for a couple of days because our 2 oldest grandchildren weren't going to be able to make it down because they had a trip planned to Great Wolf Lodge for the 30th and 31st, which got canceled. So we went up there and celebrated, and my son cooked a great big turkey dinner. He does most of the cooking, did a great job. And Christmas Day was quiet.
No, thank you. Thanks, Roseanne. Bonnie Bell Mulder.
Yes. We had a quiet Christmas. My son and daughter-in-law went to her family on Christmas Day, but then on Boxing Day, which just delights the 4 of us. It's great. It's great we went out to his place, to his garage. That's his pride and joy, his garage. He has a wood stove in it. I put up a Christmas tree in it, and he's got a wood stove. Plus he always has the heat on anyway. And we sat there and we had brunch, and we asked another young couple to come and join us. And they're both in the forces, and he's in the military and she's in the Air Force. And they have done tours overseas, the both of them. So they regaled us with some stories, and we drank just a little bit. I did my fair share. And that's where we spend most of our weekends. We go out and help him do a little job, and then we sit for hours in the garage in front of the wood stove and drink, tell stories. And then New Year's was very quiet. It was just Brian and I. And I can never make it to midnight anyway. If I am, I'm in bed reading, but that's about it. So quiet. New Year's was very, very quiet. But it was okay. It was okay. We had a
All
good
right.
time.
Hey, Bonnie, this is starting to sound like True Confessions now, you know.
Oh.
Janet Farr Parks.
Everyone. Well, our Christmas turned out not to be as planned. We were ready for our daughters to come home from Toronto, but because there were some doubts whether they should come into North Bay from Toronto, given the higher incidence of COVID, kind of last minute, the Band-Aid was ripped off and they stayed in Toronto. So we video chatted, and we all, in our separate homes, all made good Christmas Eves, good Christmas days with baking that I had done for them to be here. And, so we made it good. But I have to say, the morning of the 26th, I said to my husband, do you still want the tree up? And we both had enough. So we rejoined. We started the new year a bit early, but we were ready because it wasn't as we planned, but we all made it good and moving forward and doing well. So that was
Yeah.
it.
Lots to be grateful for, eh? Yeah. Pat Marshall.
You're muted, Pat.
How's that?
There you go.
We had an excellent Christmas. I have 2 adult daughters and their families who live in town. And one family has 3 younger children, age 6, 9, and 11. So they came to my house in the morning, all of them, and that's where we exchange our gifts, all the family exchange. And Santa comes to my house too. So
Wow.
they come to see what Santa has brought. And then we had brunch. And then everybody sort of finished their eating and tidied up and, gathered up their stuff. We all went to our separate homes for the afternoon and got together again around 4:30 for dinner at my daughter's house. And her husband cooked a beautiful dinner. He's an excellent cook. And so we ate again. And my 3 youngest grandchildren, the 6, 9, and 11, come from Montreal. They're really attached to the Montreal Canadiens. So I gave each of them a Montreal Canadian shirt for Christmas. And I visited them just the other day, and the boy, the grandson, was wearing his shirt. And I made a comment, "Oh, you got your shirt on?" "Yes," he said, "I've been wearing it every day. It hasn't even been washed yet." So they really liked that, and we had a very nice time. It was a great day.
We're gonna go.
Thanks. Okay, Jill. We got to make if you can just say just a brief comment, because we've got a few people to go through, and I want people to get to know who each other
I
is.
will say it was a much better Christmas for me this year. Last year, I spent it totally alone. This year, I did go down to my daughters. The whole family had some health challenges, not COVID. So I was glad that I was there. We had a very quiet, relaxing time. My son, who lives in the States, almost made it. He got to the border, and just as he was about to go through, he got a call from a friend who said, "I'm so sorry, Steve, I've just tested positive for COVID." And he had been with that friend the day before. So he FaceTimed us in his truck with tears in his eyes and said, "I'm going to go back home." But you know what? It was such a much, much better Christmas. And I had a wonderful New Year's Eve with 2 friends, and did stay up to midnight, which is the first time in a long time. And it was really nice.
Thanks, Jill. Diana.
Well, I'm blessed. I have 3 boys. They all live in North Bay. So we were able to spend Christmas Eve, which is big in our family, together. We were 10 and a half because my daughter-in-law is expecting within the next 3 weeks.
We had a joyful time together, and Christmas Day together, and New Year's was my hubby and I, and yes, we did stay up till midnight. Though we were very disappointed with the entertainment on TV that night. I don't know, there's something, I don't know, maybe it's the age group I'm in, but it wasn't what we were planning to watch. But as you can see, my dog usually go for a walk at 9 o'clock or at 8 o'clock in the morning. So he's a little anxious here. He wants to go. So I think he'll be coming with me on my walk this morning.
All right. Thank you, Diana. And Diana's dog and my dog, they don't get along very well.
No.
Okay, Lindsay.
Oh, okay. My son and I traveled down south to visit my mom and dad, who are in their 90s, which was great. Normally we have a large get together family, but 4 of my cousins had COVID. So that's really, again, just messed up everything. But we had a lovely, very quiet Christmas. And when we came back home, I spent a lot of time walking. The trails are pretty good down here on Champlain. So that's what I did. Yep.
And those Champlain trails will be going there. For any of you who like a flat walk, bring some seeds with you or something, because the chickadees down there are just party animals. They love humans.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lindsay. Okay, Dorothy.
We have our gift and turkey day on Boxing Day. I'm like Debbie. It was like an eating marathon. a big roast beef dinner at my daughter's Christmas night, Christmas night, and then turkey at our place. And having had to wean myself off my Baileys. My coffee isn't as good anymore. And I did try and scout out the trail off Booth Road. And don't ask Janet how it went yesterday. But I wanted to show you something really cool. I bought a calendar from the Green Party, a donation sort of thing. And one of the pictures is a barred owl, Cranberry Trail, North Bay, Alicia Garrick. And I just wanted to show you. I thought this was so, can you see that?
Ooh.
That's the Cranberry Trail. Isn't that cool? Anyway, I just wanted to show you that.
That's another trail that's nice and flat.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's one of the best ones, yeah. Yeah, and we stayed up until 1:30 on New Year's Eve.
All right.
Surprised even
Anna. Oops, sorry. Anna.
We did the brunch Christmas morning. I missed the group so much. I saw Claire walking to Independent Way. I felt like getting out of my car and hugging her. I waved and waved. I missed everybody. But we did a little go around where we reminisced about our most memorable Christmas as a child in our family of origin. And well, we just shared some really neat stories. Yeah, it was. I'm lucky too to have family here in town. My daughter came up from St. Catherine, so yeah, I'm glad to be together with our group again, though.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thanks, Anna. I'm taking notes, everybody, because there's some great ideas coming out here. Okay. Go ahead, Maureen.
Well, we ended up with everybody here, all 7 grandchildren and my children. And my daughter came Christmas Eve with her 4. But our son was worried about the old guys. We're the ones that are vaccinated. I had all 3, so I don't know why they were worried about us. Anyway, they came 26th, and he and his wife and daughter stayed in a hotel, so we weren't all in one place. But we had a great time together, as we always do, and having the children. And we have some little ones and some big ones. And so I played dolls with Eleanor several times. And with the big kids, we stay up at night and play games. It was fun, and we all at one of the dinners together, we all said what we were thankful for and grateful for in the past year. You know, when we thought about it, I said, you know, if anybody had told me last year at Christmas, which was it was only Ted and I here, you know, it was so quiet and we didn't do anything, that we would have had 3 needles in that time. It's kind of like a miracle when you look at it that way. So anyway, it was a good time.
Thanks, Maureen. Okay, Judy.
Hi. Well, we had a quiet Christmas. We have a small family. I have one son, and he's in Sudbury, but he was able to come for a couple of nights and sleep with us. And we shared our stockings, and I cooked a turkey, and we had a good friend we've known for about 50 years as well for a sleepover. And I spend lots of time on the phone. My sister is in Palm Springs and my brother is in Barrie. And so we spent time on the phone with them. It was a great Christmas. Thanks.
Wonderful. Marianne Gong.
I was spoiled. I had some friends come on Christmas Eve, and we celebrated Christmas together, and they made a fondue and brought it. They had just and all the trimmings, and my son, who is in China, took part in the whole thing by Skype, so that was very special, and he really enjoyed it. And on Christmas Day, I was invited at Helen's niece who had a Christmas dinner with her sons, and I really thought that was very thoughtful of her, because I had spent the past Christmases with Helen, on Silver Lady Lane, and she's no longer with us. So I really, I'm really grateful for my friends that I have here.
Yes, Marianne. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for reminding us.
Thank-
Yeah. Hey, Laurie.
We had a very quiet Christmas. Our son and family couldn't come up from Toronto because of COVID. It was just too heavy there. And our son and his family in town were all sick. So I haven't cooked my turkey dinner yet. So maybe on a Sunday sometime soon we will. But it was very quiet. It was different than last year. Last year we knew people couldn't come. This year it was right down to the last minute before anybody was coming. So it was kind of hard. But we got out for lots of walks, and we did our share of eating whether I cooked a turkey or not. So it was quiet, but it was okay.
Thanks, Lori. Heather. Heather.
Which Heather?
Oh,
Is on.
sorry, Heather. Heather Elliott. Sorry, Heather.
Oh, that's quite all right. I couldn't see any other Heathers when I was looking around there, so I figured it was me. Oh, I had a really great Christmas. It was a really wonderful time because we were able to get my two daughters from out west flew home with their partners. My stepdaughter from down east had all intentions of coming, but with threat of borders closing and traveling with the 3-year-old just didn't warrant coming, so we didn't see them. But yeah, so we had everybody here. My brother and my niece, my great niece also came up. So we had a wonderful time. Lots and lots and lots of food. Too much food. It was great.
Wait till we get into the blue zone and eating. Ooh. Mary Lynn. You're muted, Mary Lynn.
Unmute.
There we go.
There we go. It was pretty quiet. I had a lot of fun watching my granddaughter with this 3D toy that the family seemed to get, where you put on the goggles and you're in another world. They put me on a roller coaster, which I don't like roller coasters, and it was in a world full of dinosaurs. And they kept telling me to open my eyes. But anyway, and then they got this little drone thing and they promptly put it up in a pine tree. So it was just, I got to watch, lots of fun and join and take part in it. I ate way too much, but it was fun and gentle, and I cut way back on the baking, but it was the right amount of cutting back. Yeah, it was just a really quiet, blessed Christmas.
Wonderful. Oh, sorry, Mary Lee. Welcome back, Mary Lee.
Thank you. We had a great Christmas. I have one daughter and family that live close by, so that was great. We had Christmas with them. My other daughter came and her 2 children from London, Ontario. And so it was lots of fun. And I agree with other people. I ate too much, but nevertheless, it was great.
Awesome. Marilyn O'Brien.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
Hi.
great. Hi. Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah.
I went to my sister's daughter's place for Christmas Day in Sudbury and spent a few days there. I got introduced by the little 4-year-old of the house to all the Marvel characters and had to learn their names. Oh, God. And I have forgotten most of them already, but anyway, it was delightful to be around a 4-year-old for Christmas. My own daughter's in Waterloo and wasn't able to come. And then I spent a few days with my sister and had some wonderful food. My sister-in-law landed with a whole plate full of her own baking, so I've been eating it steadily for the last 2 weeks. And other than that, it's been fairly quiet.
Well, on to a new year. Hope you get out walking with us, Marilyn.
I'm going to try, thank you.
Sorry, Janet Comerford.
Christmas Eve, I had fun. I was joined some people in our apartment here, and I went to a place that was 6 people, and 4 of them were newfies. So you know what newfies get like. Drank too much, laughed too much. My stomach hurt the next day. My sister Joanne and I had 2 people for company for dinner. We served dinner on Christmas Day. New Year's, I think I fell asleep. That's what I did New Year's. I was down at the Cranberry Trail the other day, and you're talking about the chickadees. And of course, if you put they must have been hungry. It was about 1 o'clock. I was down there, and they were sitting on your head. Of course, they come and sit on your fingers. Well, 2 at the same time. There were 3 of them hitting my hand at the same time, and one of them was so nervy she put 3 seeds in her mouth. I've never seen that before. She had to jump away because her mouth was wide open with seeds in it.
That's lovely.
Yeah,
that's lovely. It's quite a feeling to have them on your fingers, eh?
It is, especially when there was 3 at one time, and one was on the thumb and 2 were at the other fingers, and they're just kind of fighting over who's going to get the first.
I'll have to work with my Joey 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and tell them I spread my fingers and let them.
Yeah.
Bonnie Bolger.
We had a lovely Christmas. There was 10 of us, and yeah, it was lovely. We asked some questions around the table at the end of Christmas dinner, and I mean, there was a lot of people that got teary. It got very serious, and I don't know if it's everyone's being a bit more introspective because of COVID, but yeah, it was kind of surprising. So yeah, it was lovely. And then New Year's, I got to spend it with my mom, and yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah. And are you primary caregiver for your mom, Bonnie? Or you're essential, right?
Yeah, yes, but she's now passed. So, but it was lovely. I got to spend all that time with her. So yeah.
Your mom passed?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that, Bonnie.
Yeah, but you know, really, she was 95, so she had a good life, and so yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Boy, that was quick.
Yeah, she got
just quick because we were chatting right on about the teams, and I didn't realize. Okay.
No, but
yeah.
Well,
she had a great daughter too.
Yeah, and she had a great.
That's wonderful.
25. So you know, I know, you know, it's always hard to lose your mom, but you know, I had her for 71 years, so I'm pretty blessed too.
Yeah. Thanks, Bonnie. Gwen.
Had a lovely Christmas with Kimberly. You know Kimberly from being on here, and she's in town, and she has a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And the 3-year-old really got the concept of Christmas this year. And the 1-year-old was so fun to watch because he's never allowed in the living room. That's where the 3-year-old plays with his Lego and things that are too tiny for the 1-year-old. So he was in the living room and he was having the time of his life, mostly eating toast and walking around and stealing his brother's toast. He didn't care anything about presents. He just wanted the toast. And he was getting away with it because no one knew. And the other thing, I had to look at Kimberly twice because the 3-year-old told me that he was going to have a baby sister very, very soon. And so I was going to confront Kimberly because, I mean, there's nothing showing, especially if it's coming very soon. And the next breath, he told me he had 2 brothers. He really only has 1. And I said, well, who's your other brother? And he said, Santa. So I said, okay, I don't think Kimberly is going to have a baby. So we're okay.
Oh,
but it was so much fun. And then my son from Huntsville came up for New Year's with his 7-year-old and his 4-year-old. And that was really fun too. So it was busy with grandchildren I hadn't seen for a while. So it was nice.
That's
And no
nice.
baby coming that we know of.
Liz Foster. I think that's Liz. Okay. Okay, last but not least, Anne Delaney. She's not there either.
Oh,
Oh, there
yes,
you
I
are.
am.
Okay.
I'm eavesdropping.
All right. Yeah. Well,
Well,
Anne went to Newfoundland, I think.
We went to Newfoundland the first week of December. And
Oh.
that was wonderful. Paul had Porter points that would expire at the end of last year. So he said, do you want to do something? Well, I really wanted to go to New York City and see the Rockettes do their Christmas show, but that wasn't in the cards. So so he said, what about St.
I miss
John's?
Debbie.
Well, what the heck? So we've been last fall, we went coast to coast from Vancouver to St. John's. So yeah, it was fun, a whole week eating seafood and talking to the natives. They're lovely, lovely people. Yeah. So different from the rest of the country, that's for sure. And then Christmas was with our daughter in Sudbury and their 3-year-old. So I did the bulk of the cooking and took it there. So Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, I cooked and froze and transported and did all of that stuff. And games with a 3-year-old, feed the woozle. Oh yeah.
I never heard of that.
Well, it's a, you have to hold a spoon with a token on it and you have to walk over and feed the woozle.
Oh.
Anyhow,
Gosh.
so it was a grand Christmas, yeah,
Wonderful.
and New Year's as well, same but different, right? And now we're into COVID, so we have to figure out new ways to have fun.
Yeah, and then speaking of fun, if any of you want to do Zumba, Anne's on for Wednesdays. And
Yeah,
as Anne usually says, do your own thing. Do your own thing.
I'm ready
But
to go.
the Blue Zone community says move naturally, so you don't have to do everything that Anne's doing. Her natural is Zumba, but it's you can, it's just moving your body. That's the most important thing.
Yes,
Debbie
yes.
Brosco.
Hi, everyone. It's really good to see everyone. We got to experience something we haven't had for many years since our children were little. We got to experience Santa Claus with our 2-year-old grandson and his 8-month-old sister. It was so much fun. Santa Claus just absolutely found our house and dumped his entire sleigh in our living room. It was a lot of fun to have them here, and because last year they couldn't come, so it was really our first Christmas with Santa Claus really being in the picture. It was a lot of fun, and our other 2 children were coming in shifts. It felt like our daughter from Sudbury came and went and came again and went. And our son from Ottawa, same thing. So they were all together though for Christmas Eve and part of Christmas Day. So it was absolutely wonderful. And New Year's Eve, we just lit a fire in our backyard, and a couple of neighbors wandered over, and we sat well apart and rang in the new year with some very, very, very good people. It was awesome.
Wonderful. Okay. I'm last, I guess, eh? Well, most of you know already, I didn't go to Calgary. Canceled at the last minute. But my daughter from Toronto came up, and we had a fantastic time. I went sliding with my grandson, and he has this infectious laugh. He couldn't believe that grandma could get up and down on a crazy carpet, and we slid together, and even the dog tried to get on the crazy carpet a couple of times. So we had a good time. I'm going to share that video. We took videos, and it was just a joyful time. Lots of food, of course, and another gift of COVID is remembering how important it is to connect. even if it's by Zoom or any other way, right? And that's about it. I wanted to show you one video. Oh, somebody's connecting. Oh, I missed, I think that is, there's Connie. Hey, Connie.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
Oh, that's okay. Connie, we're just talking about how was your Christmas? What, anything to share?
It was quiet, but my son, I had one son come up from London before Christmas, and the other son with his family came up after Christmas, so it was good.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's everybody, as far as I can remember in my short memory, I missed Linda Contra. She was on for a bit, but she's not on now. Everybody talked about social connection. Did you notice that?
Harriet,
Yeah.
can I
Yes.
can I
Bonnie?
just think, I was on, I did get right on at 8:45, closer to 9, and I don't know, I would just like to mention the passing of Brenda Cooper.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if you mentioned that, but we lost Brenda over the Christmas holiday, and such a good living fit member, and
Yes.
she so enjoyed it, and was so much of a life of a party, and I just wanted to acknowledge her, and
And her
it was
laugh.
so sad.
I'm, that's not going to sound right, but I'm happy for her not to be in pain any longer. But very
Yes.
sorry for her daughter who
Yes.
had a lengthy stay here. And
Yes.
I'm glad her daughter came though to be with her. That was wonderful.
Oh, that was very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah.
to be quite close at the end there. So
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you know what? I want to take a moment, if you can be patient with me, to show you a short video that I think kind of says a lot about empowerment. Are you okay with that? I want to ask permission now.
Okay.
I'll probably do it anyways, how I
Oh,
am. So, don't look at all my notes now. Has anyone ever seen this guy?
No.
No.
His name is Jay Shetty. He was a Tibetan monk, I think, or a Buddhist monk, I'm not sure, at one time. Now he's an international speaker, motivational speaker. And he is drop dead gorgeous. He's very handsome. Can't take my eyes off him. Well, yes, I could be his grandmother, of course. So he made a really profound statement here, and I want to leave this with you. So, and I may post it on the website.
Nothing is inherently people, things, places, objects, technology. Nothing is inherently good or bad. Everything's neutral, and it's given meaning by how you use it. So this microphone is neutral. It's not good or bad. It's given meaning by what I say through this microphone. I could say abusive hate speech, or I could speak about love, compassion, kindness, and education. The news, technology, social media, it's not inherently good or bad. It's given meaning by how we use it. Money is not good or bad. It's not evil or godlike. It's given meaning by how we use it.
Just stand right there. Listen to this guy.
Oh, I'm going to play it again then.
To stop.
Nothing is inherently people, things, places, objects, technology. Nothing is inherently good or bad. Everything's neutral, and it's given meaning by how you use it. So this microphone is neutral. It's not good or bad. It's given meaning by what I say through this microphone. I could say abusive hate speech, or I could speak about love, compassion, kindness, and education. The news, technology, social media, it's not inherently good or bad. It's given meaning by how we use it. Money is not good or bad. It's not evil or godlike. It's given meaning by how we use it.
My goodness, a silence fell over the. What did you think of that?
That's true.
I'll put it up for you so you can think on it. I really, I think it's a profound statement, and I thought, this is good, great. I'm gonna share this to the group because, you know, it makes me think to stop and think about what's coming out of my mouth sometimes. And to say, you know, I'm thinking of Kristen, what would love do here? You know, things like that. What would kindness look like here? Sometimes kindness just means walking away. You know what I mean? Or saying nothing. And yeah, thinking about things like that, think about the environment and what that means, you know. Money's not a bad thing, but how do we use it?
I also think that as we age or listen to people as they age, a lot of people tend to use their filter before they open their mouth, and they say stuff that's so inappropriate, but they do it without even thinking, you know?
Are you thinking of anyone in particular, Debbie?
I am. I am. I think like I'm thinking of my mother because she's just kind of lost that filter and stuff. We're out in public or, you know, someplace and or just with the family and stuff comes out of her mouth and I'm thinking like, where the heck did that come from? But she doesn't realize that she said that, and you know, it's kind of embarrassing, but you know, and I have to tell her, Mom, like, you shouldn't say that, but she doesn't realize why or that it's inappropriate, you know? So I guess it's her age, I don't know. Or maybe it's just the way I interpret it.
There you go. Who knows?
You know? Yeah.
Harriet and Debbie, one of the things that I really gets on my nerves is when you have an old person, and I not your mom, Debbie, but anybody out there, when somebody makes a comment and then there's someone beside them saying, well, they're old enough, they're in their 90s or they're in their 80s or whatever, they have a right to say whatever they want. Well, that really cheeses me off because sometimes they say things and you kind of look at them like they've got four heads and you're wondering, where the hell did that come from? You know, so there's things that I think, no, I don't care how old they are, they don't have a right to say some things. So that always bothered me when some bystander.
You know what, Bonnie? I disagree with you.
Why?
Because you know, there's an old statement, seek first to understand, then to be understood. You know, I think you have the right to walk away or even comment and say, you know, that, you know, this is the way I felt when you said that, or you know, you have that opportunity. You have to make a decision, I guess. But I'm thinking I've said things that sometimes after it came out of my mouth, I actually know it wasn't the right thing to say. You know what I mean? And I'm wondering if that, to understand the nature of where it's coming from, you know what I mean? What is it behind there? I don't know. I'm just expressing how I feel. Anybody else? What do you think? Are we safe enough with each other to say what we think about that?
Harriet?
Yes.
I think it's a form of very early dementia. It's called frontal lobe dementia, where you actually lose your filter, but it's very, very early on. So it does get worse with a lot of people, and a lot of people, it stays at that level for many years, but it is an element of dementia where you know, you don't think of the ramifications of what you're saying. So to get into conflict with somebody like that,
it's not worth it.
Harriet's totally right. You can just walk away.
Yeah.
Or just, you know, but you know, start with what would love do here. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm thinking this is a good conversation because you're talking about the nature of where that's coming from. You know what I mean? I don't know, anybody else? Have I full of, you know what? Jill?
I agree with Roseanne that that is very, very true with older people. We do have, it's the start, could be the start of early dementia. But I think also, putting that aside, there are younger people that say things that you really cannot say, I don't think, maybe would be early dementia. But what I try and do is look at their world through their eyes. We all have different perceptions. We've all been exposed to different value systems, had different experiences, and I try and place myself in where they are coming from to better understand why they have just said what they said. And that I find sometimes is helpful for me, and it's helpful in how I respond to something that I might have thought was very irritating or annoying that was said. But when I step into their shoes, I try and see the world from where they are coming from, and it helps.
One more comment from Mary Lynn.
Well, I saw something about the pause, and that addresses
We have a lot of the speaker.
where Jill is coming from.
Connected
I
to-
think we need to take the pause before we speak sometimes to either see the other person's perspective or accept where they're coming from. It's just something I'm really considering this new year as a goal.
You know what? It's really interesting. This fits in really nice with Jay Shetty's statement, right? It's not good or bad. It's how we view it, maybe. I don't know. Relationships are complex. I sure don't have all the answers. Bonnie, yes.
Harriet, what I'm thinking.
Take us to we're finished. Go.
In my saying, the point I was getting at is that a person standing by, not the person that spoke out and said something, but it's the person standing by, a third party that has said, well, that person has a right to say what she wants or he wants. But what I'm saying is that person, I don't necessarily agree with the third party saying she has a right to say what she wants.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Okay, it's the third party, not the person that made the comment, because at some points they don't understand what they're saying, yes, but it's the third party that said, well, they have a right to say whatever they want. And in some cases, it can be very offensive to someone what they've said. So as the second party, I'm thinking, oh, gee, I didn't really appreciate that third party saying, well, she has a right to say whatever she wants. That can be offensive to what the conversation was about. That's my story. Good.
And you're sticking to it, right?
I'm sticking to it.
All right.